Hello, everyone. I'm Carlos, and I'm from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Today, I want to share a story that might change the way you learn English forever. When I first started learning English, I had a big problem. Every time I wanted to say something, I had to translate in my head from Portuguese to English. This made me slow, and I was often afraid to speak because I was worried I would make mistakes. Does that sound familiar? Maybe you freeze or pause because your brain is too busy translating. That's a common problem for many learners. But don't worry. Today, I will tell you how I trained my brain to think in English directly. This helped me speak faster, understand better, and feel more confident. Why is thinking in English so important? When you think in your native language first, your brain has to do double work. First to make a sentence in your original language, and then to find English words. This slows everything down. For example, if in Portuguese you say, Eu estou com frio, and translate word by word, you might say, I have cold in English, which sounds strange. Native speakers say, I am cold. Thinking in English helps you form sentences the way native speakers do, naturally and quickly. Also, thinking in English improves your listening skills. When you listen to a conversation or a movie, if your brain is used to translating, you might miss a lot or have to pause to understand. But when you think in English, your brain processes the language faster, and you can enjoy music, movies, and conversations more easily. One more big benefit is pronunciation. When you think in English, you start hearing the sounds inside your head. This trains your mouth to speak with better pronunciation. Now, I want to share with you some mistakes I made at the beginning, so you don't make them too. First, I relied too much on translation. I thought I had to translate everything perfectly before saying it. This was like riding a bike with training wheels forever. You need to trust your brain to think in English naturally, not translate. Second, I focused too much on grammar in my head. I was trying to make every sentence perfect before speaking. This made me slow and nervous. Remember, even native speakers make grammar mistakes sometimes. The goal is to communicate, not to be perfect. Third, I was afraid of making mistakes. I thought if I said something wrong, people would laugh. But mistakes are part of learning. Every mistake helps you get better. Finally, I wasn't surrounded by English enough. I only used English in class, but outside the classroom, I spoke Portuguese all day. This made my brain stay in Portuguese mode. So, how did I fix all these problems? Here are 6 simple steps that helped me start thinking in English naturally. Step 1. Start naming things around you in English. One of the easiest yet most powerful ways to begin thinking in English is by naming the things you see around you every day. This may sound very simple, but it helps your brain connect words with real life. When you start using English to describe what you see and do, the language becomes more natural and easier to remember. Imagine waking up in the morning, and instead of going through your usual routine, you take a moment to look around your room. Try to name everything you see in English. At first, this might feel strange or difficult, but like any habit, it gets easier with time. For example, if you are still lying on the surface where you sleep, you can say bed. If there is a frame with glass that lets light into your room, you can call it window. There may be something showing the time on your desk called clock. These are all common items you use without thinking about them. But when you give them an English name, your brain starts to remember them better. You can go one step further by describing what you are doing as you do it. Try speaking out loud, or at least thinking in short English sentences. Let's say you are walking to the kitchen. You can say, I am walking to the kitchen. If you pick up a cup, you can say, I am holding a cup. The more often you do this, the more comfortable these words will feel. To help you get started, here are 5 real-life examples you can practice every day. When you wake up and sit on your bed, try saying, I am sitting on my bed. Then, if you stretch your arms, you can think, I am stretching my arms. These simple expressions teach you how to talk about your body and actions. Next, when you go to the bathroom, look at the mirror and say, I am looking at myself in the mirror. Then, if you turn on the tap, you can say, water is coming out of the tap. These small sentences help you build vocabulary for daily routines. While getting dressed, point to each item and name it, such as shirt, shoes, socks, trousers, or jacket. You can also make a sentence like, I am putting on my socks. This helps you learn words related to clothing and movement. In the kitchen while making breakfast, describe what you are doing step by step. For example, you can say, I am opening the fridge, I am taking out the milk, or I am pouring milk into my cereal. These kinds of sentences teach you how to use verbs and describe actions clearly. And finally, before going to sleep, look around your room and name the objects one last time, like pillow, blanket, lamp, book, or chair. You can also say, I am turning off the light, I am getting into bed, or I am feeling tired today. This ends your day with a bit of English practice and makes the language part of your daily life. By practicing regularly in these small moments throughout your day, you train your brain to think in English naturally. It does not happen overnight, but over time, you will notice that you no longer need to translate from your native language. Instead, you will start to connect words directly to your thoughts and experiences. So to begin improving your English, start by naming the things you see and describing what you do using simple sentences. Do this every day, and little by little, English will become more comfortable and familiar to you. Step 2. Talk to yourself in English. Once you start naming things around you, the next step is to take it a little further by speaking to yourself in English. Yes, it might feel strange at first, but this is actually a very helpful habit. Talking out loud helps your brain remember words more clearly because you are not only thinking in English, you are also hearing and saying it. You can do this anytime during your day, while you're getting ready in the morning, cooking dinner, walking around your house, or even doing simple tasks like organizing your desk. Since no one else has to hear you, There is no pressure to be perfect. You can make mistakes, try again, and keep learning without feeling nervous. For example, while brushing your teeth, you can say out loud, "I am brushing my teeth." Then, if you notice something about the water, you might add, "The water is cold." These are short and simple sentences, but they help build your confidence in using the language naturally. Another time when talking to yourself is useful is when you are choosing what to wear. You can look in the mirror and say, "I am wearing a black shirt today." Or maybe, "This jacket is too big for me." By describing your clothes and how you feel, you learn new vocabulary and practice making full sentences. When you are preparing food, you can talk through each step as you go. For instance, you might say, "I am cutting the vegetables." "I am heating up the soup." Or, "This rice smells good." These kinds of sentences help you learn action verbs and how to describe what you are experiencing in real time. Even small moments like waiting for your coffee to cool down or looking out the window can become chances to practice. Try saying something like, "I'm waiting for my coffee," or "It's raining outside today." These are normal thoughts that you already have in your mind. Now, you're just expressing them in English. And before going to bed, you can reflect on your day by speaking softly to yourself. You might say, "Today was busy," "I'm feeling tired," or "I practiced English today." This helps you close the day with a positive mindset and reinforces what you've learned. Talking to yourself may feel unusual at first, but once you get into the habit, it becomes a powerful way to improve your speaking skills. The key is to keep it relaxed and fun. Don't worry about grammar or pronunciation too much at this stage. Just focus on getting used to hearing your own voice in English and forming basic sentences. So don't be shy. Give it a try. Speak out loud while doing everyday tasks and let English become part of your daily routine. With regular practice, you will slowly feel more comfortable and confident in using the language. Step 3. Use an English-to-English dictionary. As you continue improving your English, there will be many new words that you do not understand. When this happens, it is very tempting to look them up in a dictionary that translates them into your native language. But there is a better way, one that helps your brain think in English more naturally. Instead of using a bilingual dictionary, try using an English-to-English dictionary. This means looking up unknown words using definitions written in English. At first, this might feel difficult, but it is a powerful way to grow your vocabulary without depending on translation. Let's say you come across the word excited and you are not sure what it means. If you use an English dictionary, you might see a definition like very happy and eager. That gives you a clear picture of how the word is used. And because everything is in English, your brain starts to connect the word with its meaning directly instead of going through your first language. Another example could be the word tired. A dictionary might define it as needing rest or sleep. Even if you do not know every word in that sentence at first, seeing the explanation in English helps you guess the meaning from context. This kind of practice builds your ability to understand English without translating. You can also learn more about how words are used by reading example sentences. Many English dictionaries include small phrases that show how a word fits into real life. For instance, if you look up the word hungry, you might see something like, I am hungry after working all morning. These little examples help you understand not just the meaning of the word, but also how to use it correctly in a sentence. One good tip is to start with simple learners' dictionaries that use easy English to explain words. Dictionaries like the Oxford Learner's Dictionary or Cambridge Dictionary are perfect for this. They write definitions using common words so they are easier to understand. At first, you may need to look up some of the words in the definitions too. That is completely normal. Think of it like solving a puzzle. Each time you read a definition in English, you are training your brain to work with the language instead of jumping back to your native tongue. Also, don't worry if you do not remember every word right away. Learning vocabulary takes time and repetition. The important thing is that you are building the habit of thinking in English and getting used to understanding meanings without translation. So, next time you meet a new word, give the English dictionary a try. Read the definition out loud, and maybe even write down a simple sentence using the word. Before long, you will find that you understand more than you thought possible, and you will be thinking in English more often than before. By making this small change in how you learn new words, you take a big step towards speaking and understanding English more naturally. Step 4. Think in simple sentences. When you're learning a new language, it's easy to feel like you need to speak perfectly right away. But one of the best things you can do for your English is to start small, very small. Instead of trying to make complex or long sentences from the beginning, focus on short and simple ones. This might sound too basic, but it's actually a powerful step toward fluency. When you begin with short sentences like, I need food, or it is sunny, your brain starts getting used to forming thoughts in English without feeling overwhelmed. These small steps help build confidence and create a strong foundation for more advanced speaking later. Let's say you are walking outside and you feel the sun shining brightly. Instead of trying to say something complicated like, the weather today is quite warm and enjoyable, just start with, it is sunny. That's enough for now. The important thing is that you are thinking and expressing yourself in English. Another example could be when you are at home and you start to feel hungry. You don't need to say, I would really like to eat something delicious right now. Just say, I am hungry. Or even shorter, I need food. These short expressions still carry meaning, and they are much easier to form when you are just starting out. You can use this same idea throughout your day. If you are sitting down after a long day, instead of saying something difficult, try, I am tired. If you see someone you know on the street, you can think, I see my friend. If you are drinking water, simply say, I am drinking water. Here are a few more examples of short and useful sentences you can start practicing today. I want tea. It is cold. He is late. She is busy. We are going out. They are happy. These kinds of sentences may seem very simple, but they are real English, and they help your brain get into the habit of thinking in the language. As you keep practicing, something interesting will happen. Your brain will start to connect words automatically, and you will naturally begin adding more details. For example, one day you might find yourself saying, "I want tea with sugar," and later you might say, "I want tea with sugar and milk." And after some more practice, you might even say, "I want tea with sugar and milk because I need energy." That's how it works. Your brain slowly builds up complexity by starting with the basics. So don't worry if your sentences are short and simple at first. This is exactly what you should be doing. The goal is not to speak perfectly from day one. The goal is to start thinking and speaking in English as often as possible. Try to speak out loud when you are alone, or at least think the sentences clearly in your mind. The more you do it, the more natural it will feel. Remember, every fluent speaker once started with small sentences too. So give yourself permission to begin with the basics. With time and regular practice, your English will grow stronger, and your sentences will become longer, all by themselves. So next time you want to say something in English, start with a short sentence. Let your brain get used to the rhythm of the language. You'll be surprised how quickly you improve when you take this simple but effective step. Step 5. Have an English inner voice. Once you get comfortable with naming things and thinking in short sentences, it's time to take another step forward by turning your thoughts into a kind of conversation with yourself in English. This means using what we call an inner voice. Your inner voice is the one that talks to you inside your head throughout the day. Right now, that voice might be speaking your native language, but with practice, you can slowly change it to English. Having an English inner voice helps your brain become more familiar with the language in a natural way. You will start to plan, question, and react in English without needing to translate from your first language. This is a big step toward thinking and speaking more fluently. For example, instead of thinking in your native language about what to do next, try asking yourself questions in English. You can say silently in your mind, "What should I eat for lunch?" Then maybe answer yourself, "I want to eat rice and chicken." These small mental exchanges help you use English for real-life situations. You can also start planning your day this way. Try thinking, "First I will clean my room, then I will go out for coffee." Or later in the day, ask yourself, "Did I finish my work today?" And respond with, "Not yet, but I am almost done." Here are some more simple questions you can begin practicing in your mind. What should I wear today? How do I feel right now? Where do I want to go this weekend? Why did I forget to reply to that message? What should I do after dinner? At first, this might feel slow or even strange because your brain is not used to working in English like this. But just like learning any new skill, it gets easier with time and practice. Another good habit is to check in with yourself emotionally using English. Instead of thinking, "I feel tired," in your native language, switch it to, "I feel tired today." Or, if you are happy, say to yourself, "I feel great." This small change makes English part of how you understand your own feelings. Even when making decisions, Try to talk through your choices in English. For example, if you're trying to decide between two activities, you might think, I can watch a movie or read a book. Reading is better because I want to learn new words. This kind of thinking helps you express your opinions and reasons in English naturally. The key is to be patient with yourself. At the beginning, you may only manage a few sentences each day. That's completely fine. The goal is not to speak perfectly. It's to slowly build the habit of using English inside your head. So from now on, whenever you have a quiet moment, try switching your inner voice to English. Ask yourself simple questions, make plans, or just describe how you feel. With regular practice, you'll find that English becomes more and more natural in your daily thinking. Before long, you won't need to force it anymore. Your brain will automatically start using English as a normal part of your thoughts. Step 6. Surround yourself with English. When I first started learning English, I thought the best way to improve was by memorizing grammar rules and vocabulary lists. But after a while, I realized something strange. Even though I knew the words on paper, I couldn't understand them when people spoke fast or used them in real conversations. That's when I decided to change my approach completely. I remember one day sitting at home, feeling frustrated because I couldn't understand a simple English song I loved. The lyrics were slow, but I only caught every second word. That moment made me realize if I wanted to really think in English, I needed to let it into my life more deeply, not just study it for exams or homework. So I started surrounding myself with English all around me. First, I changed my phone's language to English. At first, I kept pressing the wrong buttons because I didn't understand what some messages meant. Like, when my battery was low, it said low power, and I had no idea what to do. But slowly, I began recognizing these small phrases. Airplane mode wasn't scary anymore. Storage full became a normal message I could read without panicking. These tiny changes helped English feel like a part of my daily world. Then I started listening to English music more often. I chose songs that I liked, not just ones I thought were educational. One of my favorites was a soft acoustic song where the singer repeated the line, "I'm yours." I listened to it every morning while getting ready. After a week, I found myself singing along without even trying. Later, I realized I had learned whole sentences just from hearing them over and over again. Movies were another big step for me. At first, I watched everything with subtitles in my native language. But then I switched to English subtitles. It was hard. I missed half the story. But I noticed something interesting. I started recognizing the same words again and again. Words like tomorrow, already, or just a minute began to sound familiar. And after a few months, I turned off the subtitles completely. I still didn't understand everything, but I could follow the story better than before. Reading was the last piece of the puzzle. I started with very short stories online, sometimes only 2 or 3 sentences long. One day, I read, "The sun is warm today. I will go for a walk." Something about reading those simple lines made English feel peaceful and natural. I also tried reading out loud so I could hear how the words sounded when spoken. What surprised me most was how my brain changed over time. After months of doing this every day, listening to songs, watching movies, reading little texts, I began to notice that English was no longer something I had to study. What surprised me most was how my brain changed over time. It was becoming something I could feel. I would hear a phrase and know what it meant without thinking too much. I would read something and understand it right away. Looking back now, I can say that surrounding myself with English was the biggest turning point in my journey. It wasn't about being perfect. It was about letting English become a part of my everyday life, like the weather, the music I love, or the books I enjoy. So if you're looking for a way to truly improve your English, don't just study it. Live with it. Listen to it while you cook. Watch it while you relax. Read it before bed. Let it be part of your world, and soon it will start to feel like a part of your mind too. Let's quickly review these 6 steps. Name things in English. Talk to yourself in English. Use an English dictionary. Think simply. Have an English inner voice. And surround yourself with English. But knowing these steps is not enough. You have to practice every day. Here are some daily exercises I used. First, start and end your day thinking in English. When you wake up, say your plans like, "Today I will study English." Before sleeping, think about your day in English. Second, set a no translation rule for 30 minutes a day. For half an hour, try to think only in English. It will be hard at first, but keep trying. Third, talk aloud in English for a few minutes daily. Describe what you are doing, your feelings, or your surroundings. Fourth, use English when doing simple activities like cooking or walking. Instead of letting your mind wander, describe everything in English. Finally, keep a simple English journal. Write your thoughts or what happened during the day. Don't worry about grammar mistakes. The important thing is to express yourself. Of course, learning to think in English isn't easy. I faced 3 big challenges. First, my brain wanted to translate everything. It was a habit. I fixed this by practicing small English thoughts, even single words or phrases. Second, sometimes I forgot words. Instead of stopping, I described the word. For example, if I forgot refrigerator, I thought the cold box where I keep food. Third, I felt like I was not improving. Progress can be slow and invisible. So I recorded my voice and wrote in my journal. After a few weeks, I saw I was better. Remember, patience is key. Don't fear mistakes. The more you practice, the more natural English speaking becomes. Now that we've covered the 6 steps and some daily habits, it's time to take your speaking practice to the next level. Let's move on to something very practical and powerful. Shadowing practice. Listen carefully to each sentence I say. Then repeat it out loud as soon as you hear it. Try to match my tone, speed, and clarity. Let's begin. I'm really glad we could meet today. One more time. I'm really glad we could meet today. Good job. This weather is perfect for a walk outside. One more time. This weather is perfect for a walk outside. Nice work. Could you please repeat that? I didn't catch it the first time. One more time. Could you please repeat that? I didn't catch it the first time. Well done. I think I left my phone somewhere near the kitchen table. One more time. I think I left my phone somewhere near the kitchen table. Keep going. Let's grab coffee later if you're free. One more time. Let's grab coffee later if you're free. Great! I've been working on this project for the past 2 weeks. One more time. I've been working on this project for the past 2 weeks. You're doing well. Do you know where the nearest gas station is? One more time. Do you know where the nearest gas station is? Excellent. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. One more time. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Keep it up. That movie was better than I expected. One more time. That movie was better than I expected. Nice improvement. I'll call you back in a few minutes. One more time. I'll call you back in a few minutes. Very good. Excuse me, do you have a moment to talk? One more time. Excuse me, do you have a moment to talk? Keep practicing. I forgot to charge my laptop last night. One more time. I forgot to charge my laptop last night. What time does the meeting start tomorrow? One more time. What time does the meeting start tomorrow? Well done. I love how fresh the air feels early in the morning. One more time. I love how fresh the air feels early in the morning. Superb. Can I borrow your pen for a second? One more time. Can I borrow your pen for a second? Great job finishing all 15 sentences. If this felt difficult, don't worry. It gets easier every time you practice. Try doing this exercise again tomorrow and see how much smoother it feels. Remember, consistency matters more than perfection. So there you have it. 6 simple but powerful steps to help you start thinking in English, plus a fun and effective shadowing practice to improve your speaking skills. If you've been following along, you've already taken some big steps towards sounding more natural and confident in English. Keep in mind that progress doesn't happen overnight, but with daily practice, you will get better. I hope these exercises help you as much as they helped me when I was learning. Don't forget to try them out every day. even just 10 or 15 minutes can make a big difference over time. Now, if this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel. That way, you'll never miss the next lesson. And most importantly, share this with a friend who's also learning English. Learning together makes it more fun. See you in the next video.